G'day guys, if you're out there, obviously this is Graham here. It's great to have you guys on board. It's only me today. Phil's unfortunately been called away, so you guys get me to take you through the marketing webinar because some really fantastic stuff that I want to run through with you guys. So if you're out there, log on in. Let us know what you're doing, where you're at, and we'll be starting very, very shortly. So exciting times, team. Again, with going through the webinar today, just to give you a bit of an insight into what's going to be happening, we're going to go through some of the major marketing tips that have helped myself and Phil to have great success over the last 12 months in growing our schools and our second and third location. Recently, we've had our third school open about nearly 10 months ago now, and it's about 280 heading towards 300 members already. So what a fantastic way to be able to say, look, these tips and strategies are definitely trialed and tested. And it's really exciting to know that we can share that stuff live and obviously let you know what we've been doing on our end. We've also got some great tips and strategies so far on how we've actually gone about getting in the last week, we've done what we call our brand spacing. You may have heard us talk about that previously. Now, with the brand spacing side of things, it's like a shopping center display. You're actually going out into the community, engaging with people live. And so far, out of one of our locations, we've had 161 qualified leads. And what that means is it's not just people putting their name down for the sake of it. It's actually, people who are really interested in being involved with our school and what we're up to, and also making sure that, with our school, we then follow them up and make sure that they convert to a intro and then obviously sign ups from there. So, 161 inquiries just in a week period that are qualified and ready to go is pretty outstanding out of just one of our locations. So again, I'll be really interested to give you some facts and figures as we go along to all the different stats that we have there. And again, guys, I'm really excited to share with you today my insight into the marketing that we've done at WAMA, and also helped other people implement these same strategies and see some great successes as well too. So can't wait to get started very, very shortly. And obviously we will be kicking it on today because it is a members only webinar. We have not so much about us, but more about what we've been up to behind the scenes. So, myself and Phil have had the pleasure of traveling around for the last 6 months. We've been to the States, interstate quite often, so Melbourne and Sydney there. We've done some pretty major adventures as well too, with a few more that are coming up. And again, what we're looking at doing is sharing with you our experiences, but also helping you to understand that we are consistently and constantly in search of new things. And again, once we start the webinar, we'll kick it on with that, and obviously make sure that for you guys there that are out there, we'll answer whatever questions you may have as best as possible, so that it helps to really give you guys the value for being a member here at TIMA, and obviously the fun that goes with it. So again, if you're online, give us a shout out, guys. There's a couple of people that are going to be just joining the team very, very shortly, which is fantastic, which is great. So looking forward to chatting with you guys as we're heading along, team. All right. So again, I just don't want to sit here and just waffle on for no reason, but being a Tuesday morning here in Perth, it's rather chilly, hence the lovely jumpers and attire. So again, I know there's a few people that are coming from all over Australia that join us today, which is super exciting. And with everything that we do, we want to make sure that we are giving you the most value possible. So wherever you can, guys, throw some questions at us. Ask a ton of things to make sure that yourself, what we're up to and what we're doing, so that it can be tailor-made just specifically for you guys, and how we can obviously implement those strategies to give you guys the greatest possible success. And really, that's what we're looking for, is the best possible success outright. And again, I'm excited to, give you my insight. I know myself and Phil have got some really great ideas that, match very well. But like any, great partnership, we also have ideas that are, you know, I won't say conflicting, but we have different views on it. And that's a great way to make sure you're continually evolving and trying to do your best to, you know, update your skill sets. And again, making sure that, you know, with the conflicting ideas, we kind of thrash it out. Okay, what's going to be the best, the greater good for our students? What's going to be the best ROI, so return on investment? That's always a good one. So again, everything that we give you now, and we're going to share with you on this webinar, is tried and tested material. And that's really what it's all about, is making sure that you know that we put this through the scrutiny, through the ringer, and what we're about to deliver is stuff that we consistently, you know, value in our own business and are consistently doing as well too. And that's really, you know, what we're striving for and we're looking forward to. So again, guys, if you're out there, get online. Obviously, you know, drop us a line, drop us any questions that you may have, which is always good. And, you know, we will most definitely make sure that we will kick it on very shortly and get things rocking and rolling. For those of you that are out there, you know, for me, you know, my passion is teaching classes, training the trainers, being involved, the computer technical side of things. You know, I'm getting my hand over it. So, you know, when I go to type, I'm like the circling eagle, you know, the one finger punch type. I'm not quite fluent yet with the, you know, the touch typing side of things. So you may have to be a little bit patient with me when I'm typing away, doing my best, but I'll make sure I try not to, you know, stutter and stumble and you know, take too long to do that sort of stuff. So again, it's you know, a really exciting team to share with you today, you know, I guess our passion, you know, and what we've done. We had a great guest come across the other day who runs a very, very successful martial arts organization over on the East Coast. And he's got 20 schools with a student population of nearly 1,500 as well too, which is outstanding. And as you can imagine, running and managing 20 schools is challenging at the best of times. But the most joyful thing, speaking to other business owners who are, you know, in this industry, it's nice to see that we all have some similar woes and pains, and also some great innovative ideas as well too. So, you know, we may find that there's a few of you guys out there that have some smaller schools, but still share the same pains as what the guys with the larger schools will do. So it really doesn't matter, you know, where you're at this point in time, whether you're out of a hall, whether you're a full-time location, whether you're a one-man band where you're doing it all yourself, or you have you know, a great team behind you. We all share the same issues and the same challenges. So again, you know, what I'd like to try and, you know, encourage you to do, even if you get home and, you know, or log off the webinar today and find that you've got a couple of questions that may not have been answered or you didn't quite get to or remember, drop us an email at admin@tima.com.au. And myself and Phil will address those specifically for you and help you out. Because really what we do is try and customize, you know, the webinars for what people are asking for. And again, we've got some information that can span, you know, years upon years and years of webinars, but really we want to be really serving you guys to the best of our ability and giving you what you want. So, you know, hence the marketing. And I know that a lot of martial arts school owners struggle a little bit with their marketing. They're a little bit ad hoc, which means that they have a fistful of cash, realize there's not a lot of leads coming in the door, they throw it at it, fingers crossed, and hope it works. But as you can imagine, with that sort of strategies, you may get a few things that are effective, but you're also going to waste a lot of money on campaigns and you know, adverts and whatnot that just simply don't give you the conversions, or at least don't give you the income that you're looking for. Because really, at the end of the day, we want to obviously replace that marketing dollar with students coming in the door so we can continue to market and continue to be effective. There's no point in placing an ad and, getting, so for example, $1,000 ad and getting 5 people come in, but realistically, those 5 people that may have came in the door never converted to any quality leads for you. Therefore, that $1,000 was, unfortunately spent in the wrong area. And you may have heard me at the start of this webinar talking about qualifying leads and making sure that we have, obviously qualifying a lead is a really important thing, and I want to make sure that, qualifying somebody is key factor. Now, I got Ben on the line there, mate. If you want to just give us a hoy, and hopefully you can hear me and see me. As I sort of mentioned before, Ben, well, I've got, Phil absent today, and unfortunately he's, not able to, join us. He's away. He's busy at the moment, which is all good, but you have the best guy in town here to assist and help you out as well. And we'll be starting very, very shortly. So hopefully with you guys, we may have some technical issues that always occur, like in anything. If there is, just refresh your chat room or refresh the page and go again, guys. That's sort of where we're at and what we want to do. So again, guys, hopefully we've got a few more of you guys in there, and making sure that you guys are ready to rock and roll. All right, Benny, cool. Thanks, mate. You're obviously shout out from Townsville. I just sent you a message just double checking that you can hear what's going on. So we've got a couple of minutes there. So obviously, Ben, it's great to have you as a TIMA member, and I've got a few more people that are going to be joining us very shortly. But being a specifically members only section, we try to limit I won't say the number of attendees. It's always nice to have a truckload more on board, but we want to really give you guys that quality sort of information, and that's really what this is all about. So again, we want to make sure that for everybody that's going to be joining us today, shout out to us to make sure that we are giving you guys the material that you need. So we're going to be kicking on the webinar in about 3 minutes. That way allow some of those stragglers to get on board, and we're going to make sure that we're having a good time. So good to see, Ben. You've got obviously Chloe and Marco joining you there, which is always nice to have a few more people to absorb that information. So just to go back a few steps for the guys that are just joining and jumping on board, today is all about giving you those really great strategies that are working for us in our school right now. And having our 3 schools with just over 1,500 members, we want to make sure that we're going to give you the things that have helped us to get to those points and are continually growing. And that's really what the motivation is all about. So again, guys, we're going to be kicking on very, very shortly. Today's webinar won't be dragged out too long. Again, it's going to give you some great content. I'm going to give you guys some great things to enjoy and take home and implement as well too. So here we go, ladies and gents. 2 more minutes and counting. For those that are still coming to join us, all good. All righty. So as I sort of pointed out before, multitasking here, which is always great, writing notes and doing my bits while getting ready to engage and have some fun. So again, what I want you guys to do is jot us down a couple of things that you want to see addressed in future webinars. What's going to get you across the line. And also let me know where you're at in regards to full-time school, part-time school, student numbers, because a lot of the marketing tips that we will share with you, it really doesn't matter about school size. But as a larger school, for example, our big school at Greenwood, we've got 850 members there. Now, if you're looking at strategies to make sure that we replace any cancellations that come through, the numbers that you're looking at is quite high. So I know that last month, unfortunately, we lost about 25 people. Fortunately enough, we replaced them with nearly close to 50. So obviously our growth was fantastic. But when you're looking at a big school, and for example, even if you're on a great attrition rate or quit rate, which is like let's say 5%, that's still jeepers out of 850 members. Man, you've got some serious student numbers to regain, and try and make up. So, you're looking at obviously 40 plus members to obviously replenish on a monthly basis if you're averaging a 5% quit rate. So the strategy we're going to give you are not only here to help you grow, but obviously make sure that we're, replacing those numbers so that you guys and I obviously have a great opportunity to continue to hit the straps that we got. All right. So what we're going to do is going to go live now. I'm going to share the screen with you guys. And obviously what I'll do is we'll do our very best, guys, to communicate and have some fun. Being it's just me, I'm going to sort of open up the Q&A towards the end for you all. But as we fire through, team, okay, jot down any notes that you may have and jot down any questions that you have. And towards the end, guys, I'll answer them all as best as I possibly can do. So let's have a look. Here we go. We're going to share this screen. I'm going to hide this off. I want to play. Let's rock and roll. So today is pretty much a members-only marketing webinar, okay? In today, there's 3 really key areas to do with marketing. The very first one is your brand. Now, there are a lot of schools out there that have got a strong identity in their community, which is great. Again, there are some schools that are out there that unfortunately have, their image and their brand that they present doesn't necessarily match with their target audience that they're trying to bring in. The second area we're going to focus on is events, and events in your school or events in your community that equally get your brand awareness out there. And then obviously everything to do with the marketing that goes around that. So how do you market these events? How do you market your brand? How does your brand affect your marketing the event? So you see it very much ties together. And if we get all 3 working in sync, okay, you'll definitely have that great success. Now, Kaizen, this is one of our, I guess, one of the big things that we focus on, the values that we have in our business. And it's a constant, never-ending improvement. So always updating, always redoing procedures and skills, and always assessing to see what worked and how we can improve. So before I started the webinar, I was sort of just briefly chatting about what myself and Phil have been up to so far the past 6 months. Some of the things we've done, we've been obviously interstate to Sydney and Melbourne a bunch of times, learning, growing, checking out different schools, seeing what's working, both the successes but also the pains. And we've also been through to America. So we were out there for 2 weeks and went right across the states from LA right through to Arizona, then down to Florida, back to Dallas. So we regularly travel to make sure that we're updating our skills and seeing what's, 1, innovative in the industry, 2, what's also working and maybe what's not working. What styles are becoming a little bit more prominent. Again, what strategies are being implemented globally rather than just here in Australia. And obviously then what we do is we take that information, we bring it back and we sift it down so that we can get the best quality strategies that work for the Australian climate and the economy. So that's some of the things we've done. Apart from that, we've also had a couple of adventure treks. And on our last webinar, myself and Phil were basically rough and beard starting to grow and whatnot, simply because we were ready to head out for an 8-day survival trek in the bush. Obviously, we're here, or I'm here, so we survived, which is a great experience. But equally, the lessons learned doing those survival treks have helped us in our business and about being self-reliant. Also sometimes finding out that certain strategies that you employ may not necessarily work, and knowing that you've got to go, well, hey, at what time do I actually back off on that and reset and re-go again? So, check out some of our blogs and obviously the podcast, because I'm going to share with you all those stories in there that'll help translate to the business world. Now, again, I did touch on what we're going to be covering today: brand, events, and marketing. And there's 3 really key areas. First one, though, I want to chat about is brand. That is by far the biggest one. And if we can get the brand, the events, and marketing working together, as I said, you're going to have brilliant success. And that's the key for it. And that's what we want to have working. So brand. Now, take this as a re-step back and have a look at what you stand for. Now, again, for us, branding for WAMA and TIMA and whatnot is a huge thing. It's your image, it's your presence in the industry. It's going to make you stand out from others. And what you need to do first and foremost is believable. And what I mean by believable is there are, and I've seen it across the world as I've traveled, there are some brilliant martial artists who the image that they present to the world is kill, die, death, yet they're still trying to attract a family-friendly market. It's not really something that sort of goes in sync. So again, you've got to identify your niche. What is your target audience you want to get, and make sure the way that you present your brand is going to attract those people. Again, it's got to be relatable. And I talked about, attracting the right type of people. Are you going to find that, your image, your brand, your dojo, your school is attracting Muay Thai fighters? Fantastic. That's great if that's your passion and your niche market. But if you're also then trying to attract a family-friendly kids environment, that may not be relatable to the clients you're looking for. Again, if you're a diehard MMA gym or jiu-jitsu gym, beautiful, fantastic. You may find that you have the availability to bring in, yes, younger kids, but does that really sink in with your values and where you guys are heading? So again, that's for you guys to have a bit of a look-see and sort of do a bit of self-reflection. Go, right, is my brand relatable as well too? Attitude, okay? Now, this is something that as a brand, you think, okay, what's my brand attitude? What am I trying to portray to the world? Yes, I want to be believable, relatable, but what do I stand for? And again, if you are a brand that's all about delivering confidence and self-promotion, as in, really self-affirmation, you've got to make sure that you guys have that same attitude from your instructor, your staff, the way that you're the communication that you guys deliver when it is to do with marketing or whatever else. Okay, so attitude, does that sing in with the rest of it? I talked about this before, your niche. You need to know what it is that you and clients that you want to attract. Because again, we have, think of it like a mechanic's, gym or a particular car yard. They may have a niche clientele that they're trying to attract. For example, the drag racing industry is not going to grab your normal mum and dads looking to buy a car. They're going to have a particular niche audience that they would attract and they would advertise towards that. Again, you look at tennis, for example. They're not going to be advertising to the footy players within reason. Again, it's trying to find what is your niche audience so that you can build your marketing strategies and campaigns around that. Now, again, in our schools, and you'll see later in this presentation, there are 3 areas that we focus on. We want to maybe go, okay, our marketing is all about attracting younger students or kids between the ages of 3 to 8, and we will build a campaign around that for a particular time. We may want more adult students. So again, our marketing will be tailored a little bit more towards that. So I'm not saying that you need to stay in one niche, but you need to make sure that you know who it is that you're trying to attract. Now, moving into that, let's dive in a little bit about obviously the brand and what it sort of stands for, what it means. Now, guys, being able to redevelop and basically reinvigorate yourself is key. Now, I'll just go back a step. I'm going clicking too fast there. This is, the Apple brand. You'll see from 1976, 1998, how it looked as 2000. It's one of those brands that we are now seeing evolving over time. Now, myself and Phil have actually rebranded ourselves a few times as we've gone forward. And I'm not saying lose the name or lose your image. You just need to adapt with the market that's now present. Is your brand believable, relatable? Does it have the right attitude? Is it targeted towards your niche market? Again, there's a couple of more that we have. BP, things that are obviously before and after. Again, Coca-Cola. These are big brands that have realized that they need to innovate and stay current, stay moving forward. Disneyland, for example, okay? We need to make sure that you understand that, okay, what was working for me 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, may need a bit of a refresher. And, I see it as a really fantastic opportunity to sometimes, take your business to the next level by simply going, hey, we've now got an opportunity to rebrand ourselves, regrow, and establish yourself as a different entity in your community. Got a couple more here. Volkswagen, for example, again, something simple like this. You see the before and after, the way that society is now looking at things. What traditionally before was a person who is viewed upon as, being obviously disabled, but the way they promote it now afterwards is they're motivated and they're moving forward. The disability of being in a wheelchair doesn't hold them back. Final couple of things here, and this is something that most people actually miss out on. Now, a lot of the stuff I'm sort of going through here is definitely in the silver pack of, the silver membership of our brand creator and obviously the TIMA package you have there. But color branding. Now, color branding is often overlooked. Something myself and Phil at Weymouth, our color is blue. That's just who we are. Trust, dependability, strength. You'll see a variety of obviously there, the different brands that have chosen to have a color and stick with it. So not only do we logo brand, we color brand so that when people sort of see those colors, they associate our business to it. Everything we do with our marketing, you know, we try and associate around that unless it's a specific campaign. I'll sort of share with it as we go, but our logos still always stay the same. We don't differentiate from that. Now, we talked about obviously being believable, being relatable, having the right attitude, knowing your niche, and then design. You may need to, you know, redesign, go back, you know, repolish up your brand a little bit and make sure that you think, wow, okay, how can I improve this area or regrow in this particular area? And again, there's plenty of really great, you know, material that you can use out there. One thing that myself and Phil have used before for designing both our TIMA logos down here and a couple of the other ones that we use is 99 Design. And it's a great online, I guess, business where what you do is you submit your requests, and then what happens is people across the world will actually bid for the work by submitting 1 or 2 designs to show you what quality work they have. So imagine if you get to, you know, talk to people via the web and say, guys, this is my current logo or design brand. This is what I'd like it to look like. Go for it. And what they'll do is they'll design something around that and then submit it. And out of the 5, 10, 50 people that submit, all you do is you choose one, and the one that you choose is the one that you engage with and pay with. The other 99 or the other 50 that may have submitted, you are lucky enough that that is something that you don't have to commit to, which is great. So that's just another way that you can maybe just have a fun experiment to see what your logo could look like if you wanted to reinvent it. We talked about color branding before, guys. Okay, and again, this is you know, for us here, WAMA. Okay, the big one at the top. You know, confidence for life. Now, in all honesty, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about taglines as well too, and that is exactly what that is: confidence for life. What that does is tells people what we are going to do for them. And about 5 years ago, myself and Phil, when we first started sort of WAMA together, we had a tagline, excellence in everything, because really what we wanted to try and portray to people is no matter what we were doing, we had that excellent service, we had this, we had that. But what it actually did is we realized that it told them how good we were, not what we were going to do for them. So you can see the same logo there, but obviously confidence for life was obviously, you know, the newer one. Excellence in everything was one of the ones that we had previously. So again, even we have gone back and gone, hey, we need to adjust and change things as we've grown and understand our business even more so. We've got the next one that we have is sort of TIMA, again, color branding. You know, you'll see here IDS, that's just another company myself and Phil run together. That's like a defense contract company that we obviously train the Australian Special Forces, and also, you know, plenty of the different I guess, airlines and whatnot to help their hostesses learn controlled and confined self-defense tactics. But again, it's all about branding and knowing your niche market. That's kind of the key. You will see the TIMA, you know, we have there for us a tagline that we wanted: believe, begin, become. And that was something that we obviously identified. Believe in yourself, begin the journey, and become the person you stand out to be, okay, or born to be. And IDS, it's not written on this logo, but IDS is identify, diffuse, and secure. Identify the threat, diffuse the situation, secure your location. And that's something that, you know, as a branding thing, it stands the test of time. So not only do we have a logo, we color brand it, we also have a great little tagline that we can use for marketing that people will associate with our branding. And that's the key factor. All right. So I went through a little bit on brand there. And I know that, you know, you think, well, okay, marketing, you know, and being able to get myself out there. Yeah, I've got a great brand already. That's fine. And that's cool. This is more of an exercise to show you that we are really focused on making sure our brand is effective, so that when it comes down to, you know, the marketing or the events that we run, it is all conducive and in sync. So this is one of the, you know, big ones, yearly calendar creation. When it is a marketing calendar, there are quite a few people that are out there that may not necessarily, you know, unfortunately have a marketing calendar. Now, what I have here is just a few examples of what you need to look for. So this is one of the inserts, and I guess, sections for our January calendar. Now, I know it's probably a little bit blurry for you guys, but I'm happy to sort of share this with you guys as we go. But I'll give you a quick outline. There are a few things here that are in, purple on the top lines that are all about promotions that we have in our schools. We have some of the yellow ones there, which are all about events. We have graduations. We have all of these sort of events already pre-planned for the entire year. So we know what we're in for. And then all it is a matter of then, marking those events as we go. But some of the things that you need to do when you are creating a event or marketing calendar, put in first and foremost the events that do not change. So if I was to say to you guys, hey, we're in July, instead of waiting till January to redo it, how about you now do July to July, the financial year sort of, marketing calendar. So it gives you a chance to go, all right, the last 6 months of this year, how we got, can I reinvent, can I readapt this? And again, put in things like, okay, public holidays that are relevant for you guys. Father's Day, Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, Christmas, Halloween, things that won't generally change. They'll always occur, but the dates may obviously vary slightly. So you'll need to make sure that you know that ahead of time. Events that do change. Easter, as you know, things that will sometimes, depending on how the year rolls and how we're heading, that'll change. School holidays. Obviously, we know that there are certain school holidays that occur, but dates, you need to make sure you're accurate with your dates. So again, finding them ahead of time and writing them down. Gradings and testing dates. So depending on how you operate your schools and whatnot, making sure that we go, right, okay, where are we at with our testings, our graduation? We have tip testing at the end of each month, so we have that locked in. We have gradings and graduations locked in. And then what we think of, all right, so I've got a few of those events in there. Then I'm talking about social events. Now, I mentioned this earlier in the webinar. We split our events into particular age groups. We're obviously, with our schools being that size, we certainly go, okay, what is the event that we want to run for a 5 to 8 year old class? So we know that we're going to have an event that gets most engagement there, or even 5 to 10. Once you start having 5 to 14 year olds, you're unfortunately going to miss certain demographics, because 14 year olds don't want to hang out with 5 year olds. So if I want to attract more 5 to 10 year olds to my school, I'll run an event for that. If I want to attract 10 to 14s or 10 to 15s, however you sort of group yours, I want to make sure I tailor the event that is a little bit more towards that demographic, a little cooler. And again, adults, if I want to make sure that I'm targeting adults for that event, I want to make sure I split it into that. And schedule them through the year. For us, what we generally do, we'll have one sort of event per, I guess, age group or target audience each month. So 1 month it'll be the little guys, then it'll be the teens, then it'll be the adults. So that's 1/4 of the year done. And then again, what you've got is the next quarter, again, little guys, teens, adults. So what that means is your campaigns that you're running, or the social events that you're running, they're not all the time for that age group. So it means once every 3 months, there may be an event that comes up that is specifically targeted for those teens, so they don't kind of get bored of it. Again, that's just, can be fluid. It's not set in stone, but that's just something when we're scheduling these events. Something that you'll hear myself and Phil say often: systemize the process, personalize the exception. So what we do when we create this calendar, we put these in, but then obviously review them closer to the time. Will this serve us now? Is it the right time for that? What has the year been like so far? Because you can't predict the future, but you can certainly have it in there so it's not a surprise for you. We have 3 different things here. So you've got, again, event marketing. So specific events, bully buster workshops, okay? A great little sort of retention event, or even when you're looking at putting it out to the wider community, attracting people to your business. Personal protection workshops. And these are the things that we obviously work on. We generally, for us, we will focus this on a ladies only personal protection workshop. Again, brings them to the business, which is great. And, there are a lot of ladies that will participate in those. And obviously, being a lady, there are high chance that some of them are going to be mums who may then decide to bring their kids to the school and whatnot. And having that as a free event is a great way to, again, promote your brand to the local community in your area, but a great way to give back. And in return, it brings great awareness, and therefore you're probably going to get some residual leads and students want to come and train with you guys. Parents train for free. This was something that we implemented last year. And what we did was September, October, November was the 3 months that we gave every single parent that was obviously in our school, so their kids had to be an active member. We gave every single parent the opportunity to train in the program, unlimited, for free. Now, that sort of campaign was a great way to actually get some of those parents who were humming and hawing off the benches or off the chairs into class. We gave them a free uniform, which made it really easy for them to sort of fit in, so they didn't sort of stand out. Now, out of our one of our big schools, out of 800 members or 850 members that we had over 60 parents actually join after that sort of 3-month period was finished. So 60 members. That is huge from that, obviously, campaign. It cost us nothing more than just a simple give them a free uniform. So, guys, I know that 3 months sounds like a massive time frame, but it was a great way to really get them hooked in the program, and they loved it. And what do you got to lose? They're there anyway. And a crowd attracts a crowd. There's nothing better than having, a bunch of parents being able to train in the program and obviously bring some life to your classes, especially if you want to boost your adult classes. Online marketing. Okay, so autoresponders. We use MailChimp and MailChimp campaigns, which is the next one down there. Okay, the email campaigns that we use. Again, with that, we may have, on a 3-monthly basis, we have all the people who decided, yes, I want to find out more about WAMA. They gave us their email address, made contact in some way, but never became a member of the school. So we have email campaigns that will be sent out to them just to let them know that we're still in contact. And we'd love to see them come and train. Here's a special offer if you guys would like to maybe come down and jump in and be involved. So there's those sort of campaigns that we will run through as well too. Blogs and videos. This is sometimes a hard thing for people to get their head around, where boosting your social presence. We all know that social media is an integrated part of society now. It's not just a fad that's going to go away. It's definitely around. So when we do our blogs and our video blogs, what we'll do is we'll simply just, do our weekly training with our instructors. We'll get out our iPhone, and right at the very end of the session, we will just videotape a couple of the guys going through what we learned in that session. And what it does, it actually just gives value to your students to know that, man, my instructors actually do train, or they're up to up to some new skills, or they had some challenges equally as well. Because what people want to see is, that you're a real person as well as an expert in your area. So it's nothing better to show people that you're constantly improving, but also giving back where you can. Down here, guys, is direct marketing. And what that means is that we're actually going into a space like targeting. Direct marketing sometimes means that you're cold calling to a point. Brand spacing and school fates. They are, two areas there you're not actually having clients looking for you. You're in their space. So brand spacing, that shopping center display. They're going shopping. They never thought about doing martial arts. They didn't want to call you on the phone, but you're right there and you made an interest point. So there are things there that you have to, and strategies that you have to obviously implement, where, you guys are, trying to make sure that you are committed to give them the best possible service, but not jump down their throats. Now, obviously, just having a look here, just a couple of comments, guys, quickly. Although I'm not sort of answering major questions typing because it's just the one-man band, but Ben, it's great to see that it makes total sense. And Craig, I'm glad you joined us, mate, and sorry for whatever issues there, champ. Obviously, I'll drop you an email and we'll sort of chat about that once we're done. But just continue to move, guys, just so we've got a bunch of stuff. And like I said before, I'm happy to, when we have our Q&A, guys, throw it out there for you guys. That way I can really kind of get on and just type away as best I can, and obviously answer, live, just verbally as well too. Now, referral rewards. This is something that, plenty of schools do, but it may not necessarily be a successful campaign. About 50% of our signups and inquiries come from referrals. There's nothing better than having someone speak highly of your school and almost do the hard work for you. Because, if I look at brand spacing there, people are cold. They come to us at a shopping center display. Then we need to work our magic to engage with them, help them build rapport, help them understand what we stand for, our values, bring them to the classes. They need to enjoy the program. They need to obviously go from there. And there's a whole process behind it. Whereas when I have, the referrals, for example, people are already speaking about us, okay? and they're obviously promoting us themselves because they said, man, this is a great school. They're the things that are going to be great. Then obviously answering, the things that we do at School Fates, it's very much the same as what we do at our brand spacing. So we have a table that we have set up, an area that we obviously communicate with the school on how we can provide a great service. We'll even have sometimes our little demo team guys there if you have that sort of available for you. But what it does with the School Fates, it's a great way to be professional, showing people what we do. We have a great little spin wheel that we bring in. Kids get free prizes, little giveaways. And even if they don't necessarily engage with you there and go, hey, here's my name, call me, I'm really keen, they've seen your brand in that community. And it's a great way to give back. Look, we've got a truckload of tips on that I'll sort of share with you guys towards the end if that's something that you're really keen on. But let's keep going. So continue writing those questions, guys, and I'll definitely get to them and make sure that we answer them so you guys don't miss out on that. All right, so in here we've got internal, which we chatted about, and external to a point. There are two things that we will make sure that we try and cover. First and foremost, again, marketing externally. All right, boom. We touched on a few of these before. So brand spacing, shopping centers, demonstrations, being able to go into School Fates or different organizations and events there. Having a demo team is a key factor, but hey, look, sometimes demonstrations only take one or two people. Schools. So we contact schools. It's a huge one. That's something that is often overlooked. You look at how much it costs to advertise in a school newsletter. It's not a whole lot. So imagine you had 10 schools around your dojo or location and you contact all those schools saying, hey, would you mind if I advertise in your school newsletter? Had a couple of people do that recently, some clients on the East Coast, and they had one school was super happy to have 5 people come from that. Now, being a smaller school themselves, 5 new leads or 5 people join from that was really simple for a $20 investment. So that's a cheaper, easier way to get that engagement there. Equally, if you build rapport with the schools by advertising, then you get your foot in the door with saying, hey, what school events do you guys have going on? Can we be involved in that? What School Fates are coming up? Can we be involved in that? School fundraisers. Can we help you raise money for your school? And a quick and easy one, guys, is what we've done in the past is provide a free personal protection workshop. Now, we say it's free to the school, but we let the school know that if they promote this to all of their members or all of their students, they can put a $10 charge on that. So, for example, if you had a school and it was a ladies only, all the mums come to the location, it's done at the school gym, you get 50 people come, the school charges $10 for that. You don't charge them because really all the deal is you get to hand out your flyers at the very end. But you charge $10, 50 people turn up, or 50 mums turn up. That's $500 donation straight to the school. But now you've got 50 mums who are probably really interested in finding out more about what you guys do in a kids program or character development program. So again, it's a great way to build rapport with the school, showing you're here to give back, but at the same token too, you're live in front of people, which is a great way to do it, okay? Teachers' personal development days. That's something that we've actually made some great contacts with schools over on the West Coast here, where, teachers need to upgrade. So what we've done is we've said, hey, look, we'll provide a free self-defense course for the teachers, a leadership development course, a communication course. Look, find out what they need and then deliver that. P&C prizes. And what that means is there's plenty of times that schools will approach us. We build a great rapport. They know what we stand for. Hey, guys, we've got a raffle coming up. Can you donate some gift vouchers? Of course we can. Letterbox drops. These work, within reason, but again, it's a bit of a scattergun approach, but there are plenty more things there you can do. Website, okay? So making sure that your website with the SEO is, top of the list there. So making sure that you guys stand out when people are searching for you. Again, continuing through with these external stuff. Again, there's a stack of things here. Roadside signs, variable message board. Now, over here in WA, councils don't always like you to have a sign on the side of the road. They generally come and grab it and say, get rid of it. But again, some places you can get away with that, no problem. I'm sure you've seen a ton of gyms saying discounted memberships, all the rest. The investment on that, it's about $2,000 or about $1,000 a week. And they usually say it's a fortnightly commitment. So, for $2,000, that's sometimes a really tough thing for some people. But if it's on a major road and it gets you 15, 20, 30, 50 leads, return on investment, you've got to weigh that up. Business to business, working and going to different business saying, can we promote you? If you promote us, we'll put you in our newsletter. We'll put some flyers on our reception area for you. And again, there are some really neat ways of doing that to get the best possible connection. And there's some really simple ways that don't really require a whole lot of effort in there. Press release, okay? So being able to let people know what events that you guys are doing. Hey, look, we're doing a school fete here, or take some photos and then do that. Exactly, send it to the newspapers. Social media, okay? Variable message boards. Again, I sort of touched on that before. You've got those stick in the ground signs, which I sort of said roadside as well. And you've got the variable message board, which are those electronic signs that you can customize the display to represent what offers you guys are trying to do. Cinema promotions. That's something that, it's a big one. We got approached just recently from Grand Cinemas over here. There's the Fantastic Four coming out. And they say, would you mind, being co-promotion? And what they're going to do for us is they're basically going to, we will just get the artwork done up. We'll present or print the little gift vouchers. And for every single person who buys a Fantastic Four ticket, will get a free gift voucher to the value of $197. That is for any of our locations. So every single, Grand Cinemas and on the West Coast here, there's 6 of them across Perth, that if you can imagine simply, handing out our flyers or these gift vouchers for us, it means that we've just built a great relationship there. Again, guys, that's something we can dive into a little bit more on a future engagement. Sporting clubs, sponsorships, Google AdWords, blogs. It sounds overwhelming, but there's certainly so many things there, guys, about getting out in your community and making yourself known as a good brand. All right, so internal. I'm going to zip through these, okay? If you really want to see any one or two being highlighted a bit more, let me know. I'm happy to share that with you guys. Again, holiday camps. We've actually got some camps running at the moment in all of our schools. They're 9 a.m. in the morning till 2 in the afternoon. It's a fun day. It's not a martial arts focused day. There is a little bit of that, but it's all about, just having, I guess, an enjoyment where parents are going like, look after my kids. Hey, guess what? Bring a friend along. Friend loves the school too. Bang, there you go. There's another lead that's a possibility for you. If not, it's just a great income stream during the school holidays when generally there's not a lot going on earlier in the days for you guys. Again, some schools are part-time, so that doesn't necessarily sit with them. Social events, movie nights, gaming nights, partner nights. That means bringing along not just partners in relationship partner, just a buddy, a friend. Okay, again, buddy day, same. All right, Nerf gun party. Geez, the kids love that, and we'll be actually posting on our TIMA sort of Facebook page. We actually did a culture meeting yesterday. Ended up with all 35 instructors having a giant Nerf gun war, and to be honest with you, even the senior instructors, the adults, thought that was the best time they've ever had. So we'll share with you that. So Nerf gun, once you mention that, I'll tell you what, so many people want to attend and be involved. Pizza events, so pizza night, movie and pizza night, things like that. Community events, personal protection workshops, bully protection workshops. Again, giving back to the community in a way that, you've got to think of, okay, how can I market myself? How can I market my brand? Am I focused on getting money or people to come and actually see me and get through the door? And really, that's kind of the things you got to identify. Moving over on the other side, guys, and I'm trying not to rush past all of this, but I want to make sure that I don't, I could speak about this for hours, but I want to make sure it's relevant for you guys. And obviously, you'll get a recording of this webinar, and we're happy to answer any questions you have, guys, just via email if that's necessary for you. Graduation offers. Open days. And that doesn't mean that you have to be, all right, I've just started a school, let's do an open day. You may be open 5 years, which we've done before, and gone, right, I'm opening my doors. I want the community to see what we actually do. So open days. Referral rewards, we mentioned that. Parents train for free, we mentioned that. Birthday parties, tournaments, back to school parties, school awards day, and students that have stood out, we do this a lot with our adults as well too. It's a great little social day. Seminars, putting on seminars for your students. Calendar holiday themed events. And what that means is like Halloween, okay? Mother's Day, Father's Day events, depending on Easter, depending on what it is that you've scheduled in your calendar, how can I make that a bit of fun? And again, we've done tons of stuff. We've had some great fun bits where, as a retention event, okay, and we're talking about marketing. Marketing is very much, yes, about getting new members and building your brand. But as I pointed out before, is if I'm joining 20 and I'm losing 25, I'm going backwards. So very much to make sure your marketing is working, you need to plug the holes. So sometimes these events are just great retention events. That's kind of key factor. All right, let's move on. So, geez, for those who know me, look, I speak quickly. That's this. I want to give you as much as I can. But again, if there's stuff that's I've gone past or said too much about, haven't said enough about, just let me know, guys. So brand, we talked about brand. Talked about events. Okay, this marketing. All right, what is this? Now, we got marketing a little bit, and I sort of stepped back. I talked about, the event. Okay, we know what type of event, but what now is the process? Okay, I've got this event, let's say Halloween, or I've got this event like a Bully Buster. What now? So when you're creating this stuff or thinking about it, you need to obviously think about the plan that goes with it. Who's it for? What is your target? Who's the person? What do I want to accomplish? Is it money for the school? Is it retention? Is it new leads? Is it just building my brand identity? Plan when? When is it going to occur? And again, this is where scheduling a plan is really, really important, okay? Place, where's it going to be hosted? Is it in a park? Is it at your school? Is it at their school? As I mentioned before with the free personal protection workshop for the ladies at a school event. Again, you've got to know what it is that you want to accomplish. Pertinence, why? Again, yes, I know what, but why? What's the motivation behind it? Because again, if you run an event that really you're not passionate about, or you don't get that enthusiasm, your event will sort of sizzle. It won't really, it'll fizzle, rather than sizzle. It's not going to work. And we've got to then promote. Once we identify all of those areas, then we can customize the promotion around that. I've touched on it a few times today, saying that when we identify it's going to be an event for a 5 to 8 year or 5 to 10-year-old group, perfect. Who is it for? That's my target. What do I want to do? When is it planned? Where and why? Perfect. Now I can promote. So going into that, the promotion process, boom. All right. I need to make sure the message that I'm suggesting or saying is very, very clear what it is. Concise. Okay. You don't want to waffle and dribble in your promos and your ads. Sometimes people will do, I say verbal diarrhea, but also written diarrhea. There's too much text that people just don't read. You've got to make sure it captures that audience very, very quickly and makes it very, very clear, as we pointed out at the start, concise what it is that you're trying to convey with these guys. It's got to be compelling. Got to get them focused on going, why now? Why you? Why should I engage you? And you've got to be contactable. I've done plenty of events where we're going, yeah, this is great. We're clear with all the rest of it. And then we never actually gave them a solid place to contact us, whether it was on, our website or was a phone number. And sometimes you kick yourself and you just think, man, I had such a great campaign, ran it so well, but I actually didn't tell them where and how to make that next step. Transition from, yes, I'm really keen, but how do I do that? So that's something that, I really implore you guys to do, okay? Here's a couple of our Bully Buster, flyers that I want to show now. Each of these have slightly been customized differently depending on the target that we want to obviously, attract. Don't let your child be another statistic. Boom, okay? Here we go. We've got certain facts there that's going to make people go, okay, compelling. Okay, why? What is it? Okay? Again, you've got your offer and whatnot. In here, again, an infographic, so a little bit more of a different feel. You see, what we've done is we still have our blue branding in there, but we've just gone a little differently. Book now for Bully Defense Workshop. Bang, okay? Contactable. We've obviously got our websites and whatnot. This was a little bit more targeted with some of the older kids. So you see what we also do too with our marketing and campaigns is test and measure. What worked well, what needs to be refined. Not just the event was a write-off, it didn't work. Did our marketing or did we present it in a great way? Okay. Here, you see this was a little bit more targeted towards the younger age group. Okay. A little bit more towards those, definitely the primary school age kids rather than the 10-year-olds to 14-year-olds, because I'm sure you'd all agree that, kids who are of a, 3 to 5 age group, bullying is still around, unfortunately, but it's a little different than what you'd find maybe a 5 to 8-year-old, and again a 9 to 13s versus a person who's 13 onwards. The bullying they face is very, very different. So again, having those clear indications and understanding. All right, so guys, what I've done is I've basically moved through, I know, fairly quickly to a point, in through the silver membership stuff, guys, which is the future planner, brand creator, X factor, formula to point. Didn't sort of touch on that because it was more about the marketing in and around your brand and the marketing about your presence in the community and whatnot. But, knowing that you guys are sitting on the other end, okay, one thing I'm going to share with you is the system stuff that we do for all of these events, because end of the day, we want to try and make this as easy for everybody. And as a school owner, yes, I know that I would pay attention to all the details and get everything done. But if I want to delegate that job to somebody else, and then I look back on later and think, man, why didn't that event really kind of work? What was wrong? Why didn't it pump? Well, geez, Mary missed out 3 of the steps out of the 5-step process. Geez, she forgot to do this, this, and this. So what we've done is we have created a massive system, and you can see that obviously, level 5 in a gold membership is all about the system, the infinite system activator. So I'm going to share with you apart from that today. Now, this is only a screenshot, and excuse me if it's a little bit blurry, guys. Sometimes it happens when you're doing these webinars, but look, I'm happy to share with you. I'm happy to actually give you the 5-page document that we have on this exact event planner. So what it actually does in here, you will see that at the very top, okay, event description, notes and deadline and status, event name and purpose, bang, date, time, address, and then there's a few things in there. Check the dates with the venue if necessary. So what this is a massive big checklist for people to go through. You may put an NA, like not applicable. That doesn't need to be focused on. Will this event be a cost event? Target audience. So what it does, it really just makes the person who is creating this event or in charge of it, or even as a group, going through and actually making sure you think, hang on, what the hell is this event actually for? What are we trying to accomplish? Because I've had plenty of people who have run some really great events and gone, man, we didn't get any leads from it, or we didn't have anyone join. And I said, man, you guys are missing the point. What you've done, it was a brand event, meaning it was getting you in your community, and now people trust your brand and know where you're at. I've said this on a few of the different webinars that now currently it takes 16 times for someone to see your brand before they make a buying decision. 16 times. That's freaking huge. So sometimes they go, oh, man, I missed the ball. I dropped the ball. I didn't get a sign up. But what they missed was the fact that they had an audience of 50 people. Let's say there's ladies' personal protection workshop at a school, 50 people there that saw your brand, know who you are, and now they're in a buying state to a point where they go, yes, I'm really keen to find out more. So that's the thing that you've got to understand when you do these events. So what I want to do is it's a 5-page event that goes through from creating the event, running the event, social media, the marketing of the event, and then also a breakdown of after the event, what actually occurred and accomplished from that. Again, you've got to look at sometimes numbers, P&L, profit and loss. How much did I spend on the event and what did I get from it? Because then what you can do is once you've then collated that with your marketing calendar, so you've done an event, it was in July of 2015. Geez, we've got that scheduled again for, July 2016. Here's the information. How did it work? What can we tweak? What can we refine? Because what you don't want to have to do is reinvent the wheel each time. And often school owners will do that. They'll make a calendar. So beautiful. We ran it last year. It was really cool. But they've got no evidence to actually support what went well and what can be refined and improved upon. So what I want you guys to do, if you are keen on this event planner, I want you to drop me an email, okay, admin@tima.com.au, and I'll be happy to send that and share that with you guys. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up, I'm going to kind of clear the screen here on this one, okay, close that down, and I'm going to stop my screen share. I'm going to go back to, boom, 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 my happy little face here. Guys, awesome that you've been throwing me a bunch of questions there. Look, I've had it, but I haven't been typing back in. So please, fire away. I'm going to open up the questions to you guys now for the next, 10 minutes, okay, which is all good. And we can have a bit of fun. Like I said, it's just because we've got our members only. I'm happy just to answer, guys, and fire away. So, again, if you guys are keen, I'm just getting myself ready here. Fire away, team. I'm at your mercy. I know we got a couple of guys online, which is really great. So what do you got for me, team? Okay. Let me know. So I know there's been a couple of, mentions of some great ideas and bits and pieces there, which is cool. So if there's any things that you have that are, confusing or they didn't sort of make sense for you, let me know, because I want to obviously do my very, very best to answer those questions. I'm not here to sell you to the gold membership or anything like that, guys. That's something that you may eventually evolve to as you go forward. There's a lot of great content in the silver sort of package, as long as you kind of break it apart and put it together. Obviously, gold stuff, guys, is, more about plug in and play. Systems done. Like, as I said, the event plan, there's all that sort of stuff, like a sales process. How do I run a sales process? How do I do the, event planner or marketing calendar? How do I do that? How do I do the, online marketing? What do I do there? So obviously that's in there, which is always a bit of fun, but end of the day, I'm here to serve you guys as much as I can. Ben, great question. What things do you cover in the protection course? Our ladies only personal protection course. And look, I've done male and female ones and they're cool. But obviously that's what sort of our classes are tailored for, making sure I deliver that sort of, personal protection there. For the community stuff that when we advertise to schools and whatnot, it's really quite simple and basic. A lot of open hand strikes and empowering them. So when we first run the course, we talk about, visualization, and getting away from the myth of men being stronger than women. And, traditionally society sort of mentions that. But when we explain things like, if you're put into a situation, like God forbid, we've all heard stories of kids being unfortunately trapped in a car or under a car, and mothers have come out with super strength and lifted the car or whatever else, or done deeds that they put their self-preservation behind for the safety of others. So we get them in a state where we get them to visualize what it would feel like if they ever saw their kids being attacked by a male figure. Let's say it was in their own home and they walked into the room and there was a dark shadowy figure standing over the top of the kids. What would they do? And 99% of the women would just go, I would jump in, I would kill them, I'd do whatever I could. And it's empowering them to realize exactly that's sort of the attitude we want. Not that victim, we want that engaged success. Then we go through just basic strikes, the soft areas, eyes, ears, nose, throat, groin. So have them working pads and having some fun there. We do a couple of really basic grabs standing, like a throat grab, which can be often done as a domineering sort of, even in a relationship can happen. And then obviously, a hair grab, for example. Then we'll go through some ground skills, what to do if they've been pinned on the floor and how to get back up quickly. And that pretty much wraps up the hour. What we don't want to do is teach them so much that they're bewildered, but just enough to say, hey, we cover this in our classes already. How about you guys actually come back and join in for a couple of weeks free training or whatever it may be. So that's another great way just to bridge that gap. From example, if you were at the, school hall, or you're at the studio where you're doing a fundraiser, it gives them a chance to then actually get them to actually come to your location, which is cool. So hopefully that helps, Ben. Craig, what do you got here? Is your branding the same as everything, i.e. dojo, tutorials? Look, within reason, yeah. Look, our logo will always be the same, but it depends on the audience that we're trying to attract. Yes, we will have some slight changes, of course, but we want to make sure that we have a consistent logo that is being used. So the Waymer across with the blue dragon and whatnot. A lot of the color themes, there'll be some sort of the blue in there to make sure that it's that association, most definitely. Our brand spacing, it is Waymer branded to the T. So I just had a guest come across from East Coast to see the brand spacing, and we're walking through the shopping center where it was, and there's a ton of kids walking around with these balloons, and the balloons, which were Waymer balloons with a dragon on them and all of that. Now, that balloon was just more of a free gift to give away, but man, it was everywhere. So yes, our branding is definitely make sure that we have consistent one, especially when it's to do with the WAIMA logo, so people can recognize that and obviously associate that with our gyms, which is always cool. Happy to help with that, mate, and hopefully that answers a few questions. All right, so Ben, back to you. Social media being one of your main forms of promotion. We are multi-digital school, which is separate Facebook pages for each. Cool. Look, now that's great, mate. Look, having a different target audience is, which is great. Having different niches there is something that we are a multi-style school. So at all of our locations, we teach Zendokai, which is for those who know it, a freestyle art. We have Muay Thai. We also have Krav Maga, and we have Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Now, with our sort of Zendokai, we have a whole heap of really great, tools and tidbits that come from all those other arts, but we couple that with the character development, the self-preservation, and whatnot. The guys who are generally Muay Thai, as you can imagine, they're a little bit more the, 18 to 25-year-olds within reason. But they just want to get in there. They want to hit pads and all the rest. So a little bit different. So we don't generally try and target as much to that. Our bread and butter is our Zendokai program, but we also still have, opportunities for people to join the team, because plenty of people walk through the door going, I want to learn how to fight. But then instead of going to Muay Thai or the other programs, they decide to come to obviously the Zen program, whatever it may be. As for sort of promotions and social media promotions, really, again, it's trying to obviously track what's working for you, what's your, sales funnel, so to speak. In other words, if you're putting out all these blogs or these great engagements on social media, what's your return on investment? What is your best possible, target? So if we have 4 styles, for example, which we do in our school, we'll only really promote one major style. But to be honest with you, that's where our bread and butter lies. But we still have the other 3 available, like Krav Maga. We do that, but we don't really promote that as a, hey, here we go, this is what we teach. Yes, it's on our website and it's, on our timetables, but as a marketing thing in the community, it brings us little bits of, little bits and pieces that are there. Muay Thai, again, it's around. We have some videos and stuff, but honestly, it doesn't bring us the leads that we're looking for. And they're not generally for us, and I can't speak for everyone, the leads that we wanted. Yes, if you're a Muay Thai focused school, of course, that's going to be your niche and that's your target audience. But for us, we know that our promotion is more about our Zen program, which covers the kids and the adults in there as well too. Okay, so hopefully that helps, mate. But yeah, definitely, if you've got these different sort of funnels, I would recommend just really having a look at your ROI, return on investment, to find out where your best leads are coming from. Craig, back to you, mate. I know you had a chance to speak with obviously Kevin as he went down, which is great. Looking at rebranding, awesome, dude. It's a new step to re-evolve. We've always got to grow. We've always got to move and improve. And think of it like if you're a belt system and that's what you operate as, when you start at white belt, you're a white belt, and then you rebrand yourself as a yellow, and rebrand as an orange and a blue, and if that's the way you go. But once you kind of get to your black belt, yeah, there's still steps afterwards, but it doesn't mean that you have to rebrand every single step. You may change in a few bits on there, tweaking, but it may not be something where you're changing a major color again. And again, that's something where in business, treat it like that as well too. For a while there in business, you may have started as a white belt in business and have grown to a point where, yeah, great, look, I've hit a point, but you may need to take that next level where you may rebrand yourself slightly differently or reinvigorate your brand. Okay, that doesn't mean get rid of it, but you just may go, hey, look, it needs to be modernized. I'm not saying that everyone needs to do that, because honestly, there are some great brands out there that have stood the test of time and they're iconic, but obviously everything around them supports that. But nowadays, the world is changing, and we obviously want to make sure that we are doing our very best to, stay current and evolve and whatnot. Now, guys, obviously, there are plenty of things going on here. Something that just wanted to mention, again, guys, being specific with people is key. Being online like this is always a challenge for people to kind of get everything they want specifically. So myself and Phil with the gold membership, it's all about systems, but we've got plenty of guys who are the platinum guys that sort of engage with us, and they get a once a month 1 hour Skype call that is definitely directed towards them. And it's sit down and we basically just work out what it is that they need to accomplish and give them everything we can to get them there. We normally together, when it's myself or Phil, we charge it at about nearly $499, nearly $500. What we want to do with you guys, being a member already, you don't have to jump up to the higher tiered memberships. But if you guys want to engage and have just a specific one-on-one Skype call that is just for you, what you need to do, guys, is, again, probably just go to the admin@tima.com.au and drop us a line. The cost there, guys, is going to be $147. Okay, so instead of being nearly $500, $147, guys, which is going to give you that great opportunity to get in there, speak to us face to face. Again, we're not here to make money off you guys. That's not what this is about. It's about giving back. But if you want specific help and content that's directed just for you, let us know, guys. So admin@tima.com.au, and we're happy to help. So, guys, look, there's the sort of correspondence so far. I hope you guys have had a great time with the webinar, and I'm really looking forward to speaking with you guys in future. Send us some emails about what you guys are looking for, and we'll be happy to assist. Thanks, guys. Have a fantastic week, and we look forward to hearing your successes. Catch you soon, guys.